Well, it's hard these days not to notice the mainstreaming of chatbots in online culture. The software, which mimics human-like conversational dialogue in response to search queries, is powered by artificial intelligence that processes data from across the continent. But we all know the internet isn't always the safest place. Now, a group of Kenyan data labelers tasked with creating safety filters for a well-known chatbot are calling on Parliament to do more to ensure that they are protected from what they have to see online. Anita.n tells us more.
Meet 27-year-old tech worker Mofat Okinyi. He's been working in the tech industry for over 4 years. However, his recent work has led him and several other Kenyans to petition Parliament to investigate and regulate work in companies at home, which foreign tech giants often use.
I feel like my entire life has ended and I don't have any hope.
Mofat is one of several Kenyans petitioning for Parliament to investigate and regulate tech work in the country. In November 2021, Mofat was employed by Sama. Sama was subcontracted by the company, which develops ChatGPT to flag graphic passages of texts from across the internet. This would help the chatbot recognize certain kinds of harmful content, which it should never include in an answer.
So we were categorizing texts that were touching child sexual abuse material. We had erotic content, we had illegal content.
This is called data labeling. It's a fast-growing multi-billion-dollar industry employing thousands of people in lower-income regions such as Africa, India and the Philippines, as well as countries on the cutting edge of tech innovation like China and the US. On a daily basis, Mofat dealt with roughly 600 to 700 pieces of inappropriate content. And over time, the data labeling took a toll on Mofat's personal life.
I always say content moderators like myself are soldiers. So if you're a soldier, you have to take bullets, and sometimes bullets hurt.
In 2022, Mofat's wife left him. He believes his change in his behavior because of his line of work played a part.
After interacting with the content, my behavior changed. How often maybe I get close to my wife changed. I could also sometimes see things and sometimes scream. Sometimes she felt scared. And then she was asking what's happening, and then I could not share what was really happening. So she felt I've changed. I can now not come close to a lady. Actually, I'm now left with only 2 or 3 friends, because I want to reduce that interaction between me and so many people, so I'm always isolated. So it has really changed my social life.
The kind of traumas that you would experience as an individual moderating this content would be what we call secondary trauma. Say, for example, a content moderator comes across a case of a child being physically abused. The primary trauma would be to this child who's being abused. Right? The secondary trauma would be to this individual who's observing the content moderator.
The BBC spoke to Sama about the claims. They said workers were screened for resiliency, shown examples of their graphic content they would be labeling, and required to sign a consent form. They added that psychosocial support was provided throughout their engagement. Sama maintains professional wellness staff members who provide psychological counseling services, which can be accessed 24/7 on-site or through the company's health insurance plan. Mofat and some former colleagues say it's time for new labor laws to protect data labelers like them and those in other fields of the tech industry.
I want some professional therapist who can give me some proper counseling sessions to change how I think, so that I can just come back to my normal life and live like a normal person, because as we speak, I'm a totally different person.
Mofat ended his outsourced job for ChatGPT in 2022, and even though he can see the value of the work he was doing, he's still struggling to get his life back on track. Anita.n, BBC News.